I mean, come on. An 8-year-old and a 9-year-old and a 12-year-old is going to know all that just before it goes down exactly the way they said, and nobody knows how to put that together because people are just looking at bits and pieces and they're looking at it from a different perspective. I'm the one that was there. I'm the only one that has seen the video. Tiffany hasn't even seen the video. And I tried to get my mom and my stepdad to go with me to see it, but they wouldn't go. That way I had a witness. And they would have seen right firsthand everything that that cop did, everything that I did when I seen it. And trust me, I waited until I seen it. I had my suspicions, but I waited. Even with all the stuff they did afterwards. The Shazam movie has a crash scene involving two children. My son deliberately, now, mind you, this is the one that was in the midst of everything that happened, okay? Didn't affect him at all. And he was using this movie scene to mess with his dad because I told him to let that part play through. I was going to walk out and smoke until that part played through. He knew I was waiting for it to pass. He said, okay, this is where Tiffany's mom is out on the back porch. This is at Tiffany's house after the incident. She's smoking Marlboros, which is something I've never seen her smoke. I know that's her choice because she would always talk about, that was her choice of brand. What she said was, with a smile, is I wouldn't be able to afford these if Tony was here. I put my cigarette out and walked back in the house. David had not only stopped the movie at that point where he knew I didn't want to see it, he rewound it and started it from the beginning of that scene. I told them that, getting ready to go home. And that's when I was getting ready to tell David bye. And Tiffany's mom and Tiffany on the side, well, in the living room, we're all in the same room. It's right after she came in from smoking. She's talking to Tiffany about how me and Tiffany just need to be friends and we don't need to be making any more babies. And she picks up a green 2-liter bottle and swings it at Tiffany's stomach. And Tiffany does the same thing she always does, puts her face in her hands because she knows. She did the same thing outside of Walmart when she was talking to my mother and didn't expect me to show up, and I showed up. And she shut up and put her face in her hands because she was manipulating my mother. And I walked in on it. That's how she acts when she's been caught. Or she knows the jig is up. She reacted like that because that's exactly what her mother did when we told her that Tiffany was pregnant with Kirsten. But instead, she did it with a bat. She didn't actually hit her in the stomach, she just swung it at her stomach, asking if she could. And yeah, I lost my fucking mind. This is why Tiffany told CPS when her mother tried to send them after us that this is why her mother wasn't in our life. Because she had multiple times threatened to hurt these children even before they were born. And imagine that. You get caught cheating, you take the kids to a person that was going to set them up to be hurt in the first place, Then the kids are talking about a plan. Uh, and don't think I forgot about all the stories about Kirsten and Talon coming back to me saying how Nana was pushing them to fight each other, calling them a sissy, telling them they're like their dad, telling them they can't fight, that they should be swinging at this person or that person. What the hell are you all doing? Kirsten was scared to death of anybody to drive her but her dad. Yeah. See, remember the bullshit on Facebook? Oh, with Brenda Klein. Thanks a lot, Brenda. Tiffany and a couple other people trying to say that I kidnapped my daughter. Okay, I'm gonna come up there and kidnap one of my kids. What the fuck? First of all, if I was gonna kidnap my kids, I would have taken all of them. I'm not just gonna take one. But I had an individual weekend which was not court ordered. That was thought of by dad because the kids wanted more time with dad. So I made it to where I would take Kirsten one weekend in between the weekends that I didn't have the kids because I had them every other weekend. So I would take one of the kids the weekends that I wasn't technically supposed to have them, just to give them alone time with dad. And one weekend that I took Kirsten with me was because she wanted to come with dad. So I went and got her, doing what we were doing. And the reason why she didn't return is because she told me that mom and Nana are planning on hurting them. And this is after, or yeah, after they had broken her arm. Yeah, imagine that. See, I have proven multiple times that I was a very good parent to these kids. They never got hurt like that on my watch. I always kept an eye on them. I knew everything they did and how things went down because I watched them. I kept an eye on them. I was with them when they were doing things. I didn't just send them off like most parents do and not pay attention, and then just come up with something even though they weren't paying attention. Yeah, most parents, they don't even know what really happened. What they're talking about is what they believed happened. My sister was that way. My brother was that way. When I would come here for family events, all the parents were in the fucking house. All the kids were in the backyard or in the front yard. Nobody ever fully kept an eye on them except for me. I was the only one that kept an eye on the kids. My mom used to say that I was weird for that, but every time I would turn around, CPS would try and say that if we weren't keeping an eye on our kids, something was weird. So, which is it? Yeah, we were at my sister's one night for New Year's, and Kirsten and my sister's new little one with her husband Kevin, their son, uh, they called him Baby X. But anyway, they were playing with all the toys behind everybody, and I was keeping an eye on them and watching, the ball ceremony and all that, and keeping an eye on them. And I'm watching them, and they're walking on the toys, on top of the toys that are on the floor, holding on to each other. And then all of a sudden, the toys go to slip, and they both fell. And my mom turns around and looks at it and says, "Oh, she just pushed the baby." She didn't push the baby. I don't know why the fuck that would come out of her mouth, but that's what came out of her mouth. And it pissed me off instantly because I watched what happened. And I even told her, no, they just fell. They were holding on to each other and they slipped on the toys. Well, that's not what happened. How the hell are you going to tell me your back was completely to them? I told mom, I'm ready to go. I'm out of here. I'm not playing this stupid bullshit. Yeah, another time, this is when David was off with foster parents because he was found a child in need of assistance because of all the bullshit his mother was doing. But of course, for some reason, dad always catches the blame for shit he had nothing to do with. At least in this situation. All I did was combat the shit that was coming at me. I didn't send no kid to school to lie. I didn't start no shit with fucking CPS trying to get somebody else in trouble and it backfire on me. That was Tiffany. And yeah, I believed what she said instead of checking paperwork, and come to find out, she was the one doing it all. Yep, it was all because she was mad because we never got married. You forget what you pulled at Prudence's and Mark's after Cedar Hill? You forget that? You forget all the shit you've done and then just tried to act like you were innocent? You used and abused the shit out of me because you knew I didn't want another relationship. I was going to try and make that one work no matter what, or I wasn't going to have another one. That's why you should have known that the relationship with Sam was fake. You knew that that was your little sidekick that you sent in there to get information when I was hanging out with Alicia and Josh. Yes, you did. You were playing games then. Just like when I started telling the story about what the kids had told me and the information that I had gathered, you and Jen started running around on social media saying that I'm stalking you, but you all are coming to my pages stalking me. Which proves another lie that nobody paid attention to. And it was done right there in front of everybody's face on the internet. And I still got attacked. People believe they're bullshit just because they're reading what they're saying and, oh my gosh, it must be true. How? Just because they said it? And well, that's funny. Everything I'm saying, I have facts to. And y'all are like, no, that's hard to believe. Yeah, no shit. There's the facts. But these bitches come onto my channel running their mouth about shit that has nothing to do with the situation I'm talking about. Clearly trying to do a diversion tactic, and you all accepted it. Not all of you, but a lot of you. And most of you that were biting into it were on their side. One of them was Jen's husband until he started realizing the truth. Then he shut up. The other one was fucking Tiffany's uncle and aunt, which was Sam's stepdad and mom, and then her other aunt, which was Dee, and then her mom, which was Mary. Really? That's funny. And you guys heard everything they said. It's all right there. You watched their diversion tactics, you watched their manipulation tactics, and you accepted them. And I'm over here like, what the fuck? Some people were silent. They didn't say nothing. I showed the reenactment of the car incident. I had 6,500 people saying the same thing, intentional. I didn't deviate. I didn't lie. I didn't. What's the word I'm looking for? Ex, I didn't extend anything. I didn't, you know, dramatize anything. I put it exactly how it was. If I'm trying to get justice, anything I do that is not the truth is going to mess with this case. I promised these kids, no matter who was at fault, they would be in trouble. So did their mother. And then she started pulling weird shit.